Welcome back. You're still watching Good Morning in Namibia. Now, Transworld Cargo is a Namibian forwarding company founded in 1986 and operating successfully not only in Namibia but in Southern Africa as well. And they've achieved steady and continuous growth and offer a range of freight forwarding services, shipping services, customs clearance, and fully integrated logistics solutions to their customers with the emphasis of efficiency and reliability. Now, they've produced a unique documentary focusing on truck drivers. It will premiere this afternoon at the Franco-Namibian Cultural Center. That's the FNCC, and we're joined by the manager for business and development at Transworld Cargo. That's Mr. Fritz Kaufmann, to tell us more about this documentary. Very good morning to you, Mr. Kaufmann. Welcome to Good Morning Namibia.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing today?
All good.
All is wonderful. Yeah. Great stuff. You, of course, produced a documentary. Transworld Cargo has produced a documentary around truck drivers, yes?
Yeah. You know, I asked myself today as well, you know, why did we actually produce it? But I think it's got more to do with who these people are. Let's call them who these people are for the moment.
Yeah.
Because I think that over time, they did not get the recognition because one doesn't really know them. You see them in a flash of a minute or two.
Yeah.
They pass you by and you move on. And that is it. If you drive by car, you see them flashing by, or you see them standing next to the side of the road.
Next to the road, yes.
So we embarked on a task that was given to us, and hence from a logistics point of view, we were asked to drive glass bottles from Luanda all the way to Namibia to our breweries. These bottles used to come by ship, but due to the cost and the cost effectiveness, we had to think of another solution. Yeah. So everybody thinks, okay, fine, we jump into a truck and we quickly run up there and we go and fetch them. It's not as easy as that. So we then plotted a plan where we would send what we call road trains, 4 trucks at a time, up to Luanda to go and load these glass bottles. Now, you would say, why can't we get them from South Africa? At that stage, there was a glass crisis. So people were looking for glass from other sources as well. And we managed, or the breweries managed to find the supplier in Angola, just basically our neighbor. So it just goes to show, at times we don't really realize what's going on
next door.
Exactly. True. And that has become very important in logistics.
True.
Namibia is a small place, and we don't have critical mass. The critical mass lies around Namibia. And to open those markets through the harbor that we've got, and especially with what is going on in the Middle East and what has been shut down, the west coast of Africa has become a very, very important place.
Absolutely.
So much so that people are looking at the present moment to move cool units with avocados all the way from Tanzania to Walvis Bay to move the harvest. So there's a lot of things happening at the present moment in Africa. We are seeing one-stop borders popping up all over the place.
Over the country,
It's a huge benefit. But now back to the drivers, is that I think it was a just cause to give them the recognition, especially what concerns this job. In our industry, obviously, turnaround time is money time. So the quicker I can move trucks up and down, the more money I can make. However, this was specialized on the basis that the drivers are tasked to drive as slowly as they can because they're not getting paid per load. As soon as you pay them per load for that, you'll see an increase in speed. And you will basically have accidents and so forth. Just to give you a couple of numbers, we've moved close on about 450 loads, let's say about 625 loads over a period of 24 months. So if you do the numbers, and I can just tell you, we've been, in the terms of the kilometers, we've been to the moon 7 times and back. All right, it just gives you a bit more perspective of what happens here. And then also think about the next time you pick up a beer, how much actually goes into it, and where does that glass actually come from?
Exactly.
And where has it traveled?
Yeah.
So the object was to deliver your load without any damages, because it's glass.
Yes.
So if it was something else, I don't think we would be sitting here today. But because it's a fragile commodity and that it's traveling so far, and in the quantity that it is, takes some doing. So we pride ourselves of being the pioneers and the guinea pigs who basically set the mark and the standard on how it must be done. We've got a control tower. We've got a control tower that basically handles up to 100 Namibian registered contractors that drive for us. We, as Transworld Cargo, we only own 10% of that fleet. So the object is to get the drivers involved.
Yes.
And the drivers are the real champions in the story.
Very much. And of course, this documentary captures the importance and the essence of the drivers, the man behind the wheel, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How they live. I mean, would you like to live for 4 weeks washing out of a bucket, bathing in a bucket?
Sleeping in a truck.
Sleeping in a cab. All these things. Speaking to your family. Singing to your child over telephone. It's very emotional in that sense of what actually these people do.
Yeah, and this role was underscored even more during the pandemic, when we saw, a shortage of supplies, when we saw the closing of borders, etc. We all saw that, wow, truck drivers really are crucial.
To our economy, I would say not even crucial, but vital.
Vital, yes.
Because we have got the infrastructure to be able to accommodate the transport. I mean, the rest of Africa, I think, in terms of infrastructure, we do have one of the best infrastructures that there is.
Fantastic. Of course, just talking about, the other details of this documentary, in terms of also how far we've come in improving the livelihoods of these truck drivers here. Maybe you can talk to us about that as well.
Well, I'll give you an example. We were contacted from Zimbabwe to drive bottles from Luanda to Zimbabwe. There was a South African competitor that was also in the running for that job. Prices were exchanged, and when they said to us, this is the set price, we actually turned around to the customer and we said to them, we are not going to drive for that money. So they asked why. The reason was that everything boils down to cost. And where do you usually cut first? People. You don't cut your assets. So this would have a direct impact on our drivers if we were to go down that road. We then inform the customer that because we do driver empowerment and being part and parcel of the bigger picture, we'd rather stand back and let them give it to somebody else who doesn't do that, because it's not within what we as Transworld Cargo do for our people. So that is, just to give you an example, in the empowerment of the drivers. One mustn't forget, when you buy a rig like that, it costs you nearly 3 million. So I hand over the keys to you, and I say to you, get the job done. But I won't let you drive my Mercedes. You understand what I'm saying?
Giving you this $3 million
I'll
truck.
give you 3 million, but I won't let you drive my Mercedes. And the passion that goes into driving those trucks. I mean, they are machines are so technical nowadays. They literally drive themselves. But to understand all of that, it's crazy stuff, and I think we just always see the driver going past.
It's a lot of things that happen. Of course, this documentary premiere is happening this afternoon at the FNCC. Just provide us with those details and how the public.
We've invited obviously a lot of stakeholders, Logistics Association, Transnamib, obviously the Paris Corridor Group. So we've invited quite a lot of people to show them what this is about, because I think at times we forget what our capabilities actually are as Namibians. I mean, Luanda must actually not be the last stop. You understand what I'm saying? Because the hinterland of Africa that is landlocked is screaming for product. Take, for example, we do approximately 5,000 tons of copper a month. That's just us. That gets exported. That comes from a landlocked country. And you know yourself, mineral resources are high on demand at the present moment.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Mr. Kaufmann, thank you for being here. Thank you for telling the story of these important people who really, move our economies and move the world. All the best with the premiere and all the best with all your work at the Transworld Cargo. Yeah.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
They have it. Fritz Kaufmann, he is the manager for business and development at Transworld Cargo, talking to us this morning about a documentary documenting the lives of, that is, truck drivers, just giving you insights into the daily lives of truck drivers. That documentary is being premiered this afternoon at the FNCC. What time is it?
We are doing it at 4 o'clock.